Oh, my God. Worldwide.
We have got loud from San Francisco Super Bowl week on the right. The Golden Gate Bridge.
Look at this. Not a green screen.
This ain't
is
green.
real.
This ain't green.
Real.
It's
It's real.
And what y'all seeing is real. I have on a T-shirt. He has on a full coat,
Right.
a sweater, and a scarf.
The temperature is starting to drop, and I'm nice and cozy.
Don't you start. And over to our left, Alcatraz.
And we haven't even talked about the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Super Bowl
It's
60
too much to
this
see. It's too much to see.
We're going to be here all week. Get loud every day. Special guests. We're talking
Yeah.
football and who knows what else.
This is the first stop on our Get Loud worldwide tour. All right? We're stopping everywhere. All right? Everywhere.
The Get Loud podcast is presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Find tickets to Commanders games and more at SeatGeek. Now we're on the streets,
Yes.
right outside Radio Row.
You got to love that.
I mean, it just feels good to be here. And you can tell as the week goes on, like the energy starts
No,
to
I've been
pick up.
saying the energy is in the air. I get to see a lot of people from the media, a lot of ex-DC media working in different places. Just that community. You got your NFL community, you got your coaching community, but you also got your media community.
Yeah.
And we get to see a lot of those people out here. And the energy in San Francisco can't be matched right now.
And we've already seen some players as well. I know Anna saw Aiden Hutchinson and
It's so starstruck.
oh my God.
Cooper DeJean.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Cooper is that Cooper DeJean? Yeah. They got their fangirl on.
So since we're talking about secondary, let's talk about Daronte Jones.
Oh, I love
New
it. I love
defensive
it.
coordinator, a guy who has worked in the secondary, worked with DB, so you have to love that.
Yeah. Well, he's going to think about it. He's going to bring a mixture of alignment and assignment.
Okay.
All right, get used to seeing 8 people in the box across the line. And they not blitzing all the time. They dropping in coverage. Get ready to see multiple coverages. Get ready to see multiple fronts. Get ready to see him play football, I want to say, positional football, but I also want to say circumstantial football. Like it's the 3rd and 1s. It's the red zone that he's really, really going to show what he can do. And this is what I want people to do. Calm down. Just because he's never called plays before doesn't mean he can't call plays now. So that's what I'm saying. Everybody that I talk to about Jones say, y'all got y'all one in Coach Jones, so let's be patient.
And you know how it is, too. Sometimes it's nice to get a guy on the come-up as opposed to someone who's already established because then you get that next star.
Yeah, and you got somebody that's willing to open up their playbook and do different things. And that's what you want. When you got an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator dueling in practice, what they going to see is this works sometimes, this doesn't. So problem solving is what this defense is going to be about. When it comes to how the offense views this defense, it's going to be, can I solve the problem? Can I solve it quick before I throw it into traffic?
And you talk about Brian Flores, Mike Zimmer, some of the guys he's trained under. So you're talking about some great defensive minds that he's learned from, and now he's ready to go out.
And that's what I said. When you talk about Zim, when you talk about Flores, you're talking about multiple fronts.
Yeah.
They might be in 3-4 this one. They might be in 4-3. They might be in nickel. They might be in dime. But they're going to have a wrinkle in there that you're going to have to figure out. And your quarterback going to have to figure that out while processing the time of play.
Also, local guy, born in D.C., went to Morgan State, so kind of a homecoming as well. So anytime you kind of have a hometown guy, it's nice to root for a guy like that.
Well, not just a homecoming, it's a home rising. He want to come back. He want to take the defense to another level. Yes, he's going to be comfortable at home, but you know how I know a lot of pressure comes when you're at home because it's more eyes on you and now more scrutiny also because the people that's cheering for you is also your family, friends, and people around the DMV.
What is it like to have a fresh voice in the locker room, particularly on the defensive side?
No, it's always good because now the standard changes. All right, because when you come in as a defensive coach, you get to lay that foundation of what I expect, alignment and assignment, tackling, just the small things. You get to cross your T's and dot your I's, but you get to put your signature on this defense because it's going to be always compared to the years prior. So, therefore, I hope Coach Jones can come here and implement what he wants to do in one offseason, which is going to be a hard task.
It is, and when there's changes like this, then you see guys that were beloved, like Ryan Kerrigan, leave the franchise. But certainly that's just part of the NFL. At the same time, he's always going to have his place.
You know, the one thing about the NFL, it stands for not for long. We understand that, and jobs are fluent. All right, when your coordinator gets fired as a positional coach, I'm already wondering where and when am I going? It's so fluent, and change is about the NFL. Did we see 10 head coaching changes this offseason? That's what the NFL is about. And 2 of those guys won Super Bowls. When do you ever see that happen?
It's crazy. I mean, and the amount of change we see each and every single year. I mean, this is just a part of it here with this franchise, but also we're seeing kind of a youth movement here when it comes to the coordinators.
Most definitely. They're going for coordinators and head coaches that's never did this job before. So it's kind of like out with the old, in with the new. So I think we're seeing a transition in the coaching where people don't want to do the retreads no more. I try to tell people all the time, if your head coach has won a Super Bowl with another team, no other head coach in history has ever won another Super Bowl coaching another team. Think about that.
I think about that.
Yeah.
This week, I mean, we're just getting going here, but what have you liked thus far? We've been here for 24 hours. We had a great night last night. We had a great time yesterday out at the Bay Bridge. I mean, it's been awesome.
I can say this. Thank you, Mother Nature. The weather out here compared to the DMV is God sent. I walked for like 5 miles when I first got here just to bask in the sun.
You do that a lot. I feel like every time you go somewhere, the first thing you do is start
just
smoking.
Walk. I just started to walk because I get to see the city.
Okay.
I get to see my surrounding, and you get to feel the energy of the people, and that's what I can say. We went to Bay Bridge yesterday.
It's great.
Just beautiful as we sit out there and looked across the bay. So not only the aesthetics of this beautiful city, it's beautiful people out here too with high energy, and I love it. And it's a dog city. Dogs everywhere.
Who's that dog yesterday? Looked like ready to go to the dog show, like this poodle was prancing around.
Listen,
oh my God.
I think 1 out of every 3 people here has a animal.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. This city is ran by canines.
Of course, we have the Super Bowl this week.
Yeah.
Give me one matchup, just kind of a mini preview that you're looking forward to seeing Seahawks and Patriots.
I hate to say this because, I was high on Drake May when he came out.
Oh.
Drake May versus this defense of Seattle.
Okay.
This defense of Seattle, they great. No, I ain't gonna say that. They're good on every level. They have no weakness. And let's be honest, as much as I love Drake May, these last couple of playoff games haven't been his best games.
It's true.
That defense in New England has been covering for him. So the question is, how fast can Drake May figure out the front of Seattle and that back end with Woodland and Witherspoon and the rest of them?
Young too.
Yes,
They're young.
like they got some dudes. I can't wait to see it, but that's gonna be the true matchup. Can he figure out the mental part of how they're trying to attack him? Because the physical part going to be there when it comes to Seattle.
Seattle best defense in the NFL?
Best defense in the NFL. Like I said, good on all 3 levels. All 3 levels become a threat, and on the back end, they don't get beat.
It's going to be a great week here. We've already had a good time, 24 hours. We're going to go inside Radio Row and got to get the podcast. Come on, baby.
Not? We getting loud in San Francisco. We done took over California. We can't wait. Plus, when we got here, we talked so loud, it was an earthquake.
That's true. It's true. Now it's time for your hot ticket presented by SeatGeek, the most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected, SeatGeek. Here with the great Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk, and Super Bowl preview. It's kind of amazing to think back at the beginning of the season, we would have never guessed Patriots Seahawks. How surprised are you?
Very surprised. Last year as we were getting ready for Eagles Chiefs, I'm thinking, are we going to be back again, Eagles Chiefs? Like, can we get somebody other than the Chiefs? No disrespect to the Chiefs, but it's kind of nice to have a little variety. And the Patriots were 80-1, and the Seahawks were, it depends on what sports book you look at, but at one point I saw both of them were at least 60-1. So it's kind of nice to have something just kind of bubble up out of the mud where, now, plenty of great teams were down, and it is a war of attrition, and the Seahawks and the Patriots stayed healthy enough to get in position to do this. So, I think it's fun, and it creates the variety that a year ago we all wanted.
The Sam Darnold story is fascinating to me. I mean, we were talking about a guy who potentially could be a Super Bowl champion. What would that be like to say this guy led this team after being tossed to the scrap heap, essentially?
Well, and it wasn't really tossed to the scrap heap. The Vikings were in a situation where they had a young quarterback that they had made a top 10 pick, and they need to see what he can be. Now, should they have had somebody else there? I think the answer is yes, and I think that's one of the reasons why the general manager got fired last week. But, Darnold was available for any team that wanted him, and he got a contract in the low $30 million per year. The first call that I'm going to make if I'm Sam Darnold's agent, if they win that game, I'm calling up John Schneider, the GM of the Seahawks, and I'm saying, hey, it's time to pay me again, because everybody got it wrong. The Vikings decided we don't want to bring him back, and the other teams out there who could have gone straight for Sam Darnold and given him a market value contract, $50 million a year or more, it's right around $33 million a year. So everybody kind of got it wrong, and Sam Darnold proved that he's the one who was right to believe in himself.
A couple new coordinators for the Commanders. Defensively, what does Daronte Jones bring to this team?
Well, if he brings the Brian Flores approach, it's going to be chaos and unpredictability. They put a bunch of guys at the line of scrimmage. Certain guys will drop out into coverage. It just confuses the offense, and it just makes it easier to impose your will. Look at what they did to the Lions on Christmas Day while the Lions were still trying to stay alive for the postseason. So if he can bring that Flores style and teach it, and they have the right players, the players are always the key. Great players always make coaches look better, and that's going to be one of the challenges for this team, especially as you got so many older guys on one-year contracts. They really need to start building the team out around Jaden Daniels.
Mike, thanks for the time.
Sure thing. My pleasure.
Commanders fans, SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders, here to help you experience all of the action from football to funk and every other live event at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek has the tickets. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders and Northwest Stadium. How about this? National insider for NFL Network, Ian Rapoport. How you doing?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm well. This is the calm before the storm here.
I don't know how calm it is, but it's definitely the something before the something else. We got Radio Row here's in Madhouse. We got the Super Bowl, and we got Combine and free agency, so the storm is coming at least.
Do things ever stop for someone like you who has covered this league for so long and who's constantly in the mix?
Yeah, I mean, after the draft, it gets a little quiet. I get to play golf.
Okay.
That's a little better. But, like, this is also sort of why you do it, you know, for Super Bowl week and for the Combine and for free agency and for the draft. I mean, that's the good stuff. So it's crazy, but it's fun, too.
How much are you looking forward to this matchup, which in particular I think is one of the more fascinating ones we could have had?
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, is it, like, the sexiest of all time? I'm not sure.
Right.
But for football fans, it's awesome. Like, these are two really good teams. Very well coached, good rosters on both sides, two, like, interesting quarterbacks, you know, like one maybe superstar and one just like really good guy that everyone's rooting for, had some adversity. It's a really like intriguing game, if maybe not like the craziest of all time.
Yeah, I think you said it, for the real football fans who appreciate complete football, this is sort of it, right?
Yeah.
So what about you when you look at, is there a particular matchup that you're looking at in this game that you think, I really want to see how this plays out because this could decide how this game goes?
No, I mean, I would say for me, like, how the quarterbacks play. You know, it's Sam Darnold. There's always questions about, like, in a big game, what's it like? Now, he's played well, you know, these playoffs, but, like, Super Bowl's the biggest. Yeah. And can you do it at this level? I mean, that's a big question as it gets. So I'm interested in that. And then, you know, for Drake May, like, he really has a chance, you know, I would say similar to Jaden, like, to vault himself into, like, the stratosphere of megastars. He goes out and plays lights out. That's what it's going to be like. So that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Commanders with a new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Do you like the changes they've made?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, defense will be good. I mean, DQ's fingerprints all over it, but Daronte, I think, is really good. Offense is going to be fascinating. And I'm sure, I don't know. I don't know what Commanders fans thought when they see, like, how old's Blau? Like 30?
30?
Yeah, 30. I don't know what they thought. My phone blew up. I was fortunate enough to break that one. And so I sort of like thought there was a chance, but kind of kept it quiet. Everybody was like, oh, man, that's the guy. I mean, that's, and there's sort of a trend now for like these young former quarterbacks who are becoming offensive coordinators. Eagles did the same thing. I think most people have thought Blau would be an offensive coordinator or a head coach since when he was like 22.
Right. He always had that sort of mindset, right?
Yeah. And so like, I was like a little surprised, but he's going to be a coordinator eventually. Why not?
Why not now?
With the Commanders, yeah. So, like, doesn't have the experience, but I am, like, really interested in how this goes because he's supposed to be excellent.
No, you're really busy. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Huddle up, Commanders fans. The Commanders Golden Pass raffle operated by the Virginia Lottery gives you a chance to win the ultimate fan experience, tickets, VIP treatment, special appearances by Washington legends, and a whole lot more. Limited tickets are available, so visit VALottery.com/Commanders to enter the raffle today. That is VALottery.com/Commanders. And break. Ron Baldinger, of course, from Baldy's Breakdowns, Baldy NFL, Fox Sports, Compass Media.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know what you see when you look at the tape between these two teams. What is one of the more intriguing matchups you're looking forward to seeing?
I mean, both these teams are built really strong inside the trenches. What Mike Vrabel did when he came in, whether it's the rookie left side or getting Morgan Moses to play the best football he's played in years, and Michael Onwenu to really explode, or just adding Milton Williams and Harold Landry and getting Christian Barmore back healthy. And the same thing, whether it's Graves Abel in Seattle right now, how Leonard Williams has found the fountain of youth and just keeps getting bigger, stronger, and better, and the development of, Byron Murphy. Like, it's just, they're built really good in the trenches. I mean, I feel like we're going to talk about the quarterbacks, and we should, and Jackson Smith and Jigman, all that. But to me, this is like a real battle of the trenches.
Would you ever imagine Patriots Seahawks beginning of the season. It's hard to believe that you have Vrabel in his first year and you have Sam Darnold, a guy who's finally living up to his promise. There's a lot of storylines here.
No, there is. I mean, you get this far into the season, week 23, you're going to have the storylines, And so obviously, if Sam didn't play well in the championship game and they won, that's all anybody would be talking about. But he played great, and so that helps, and it's a lot more positive. But no, nobody could imagine this. But, New England answered all the tests. People want to talk about the soft schedule. That's fine. Seattle won 10 games last year. And I thought Mike McDonald in his second year of the defense, especially with some of the additions, Nick Emanwari, like some of these guys, like they've just fit in to what he was doing. And so, and just the development of Devin Witherspoon and some of these guys. Like it's two teams that are peaking at the right time.
I know you're going to be all over the place this week. Everybody's coming at you already. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Okay, man.
Take care, buddy. It is the last call for football on FanDuel. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, you bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Last call for football on FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Must be 18 years or older and present in D.C. First online, real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable. Bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700. We're here with Bacon, the 2025 Corgi Cup champion. And I guess the question everybody wants to know is, what's shaking, Bacon?
Not only what's shaking, could I presume that your favorite meal is bacon?
Yeah. What?
What's that, bacon?
Everyone knows your story. So triumphant, and you're back again. What keeps you motivated after all this time?
Tell us.
Tell us, bacon.
Tell us. Give us a little edge with it. All right? Don't worry about it. You are the only winner we had this year.
That's
right. Bacon got out there and did her thing, and I really enjoyed that. Now, one question for you. How did you get that name Bacon from?
Me and my husband like bacon, and then we have another dog.
Yeah.
His name is Brisket, so now it's like brisket and bacon.
Hey, I want to come to y'all house and eat. All right, it
Yes,
sounds
please.
delicious.
You're welcome to.
Thank you so much. Winners, chill with winners.
Commanders fans, SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders, here to help you experience all of the action from football to funk and every other live event at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek has the ticket. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders and Northwest Stadium. Now it's time for your countdown to kickoff, presented by SeatGeek, the most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Thanks, Jink. Another half of the Get Loud crew. You inside, I'm outside. We out here now finna talk to the fans and ask them the question of the day. Do you know who this man is? I don't know. Do they? It could be 3 different people. We don't know, but we're about to find out. Do anybody know who this man is? Can you name and do you know who this man is? Do you know this man? Do you know who this man is?
Do I know who that man is? What position he got?
Linebacker.
I can't.
London Fletcher is the name. I know y'all don't know. I totally understand.
No. I feel like I should know, but it's
London Fletcher.
London.
I'm going to ask you who this guy is. I want you to tell me who he is. Who is this man?
That's CeeLo Green.
You are correct. No, you are correct. Because I'm crazy. Listen, are you a super football fan?
No.
We out here right now. I got a 49ers fan right here. I'm about to ask him the ultimate question. And it's, do you know who this man is?
Is that the guy from Good Times? Book me.
It is the guy from Good Time. You are correct, my friend. These guys probably, come on, help mom. Come on, help mom. All right. Take it easy, like open your eyes slowly when you look at this picture. Who is this man? That's the team he used to play for. I do the same thing most of the time when I see him. Oh, say it again.
London Fletcher.
Uh-oh, we got one right there. He knew who the great London Fletcher was. We're talking about the second best linebacker of all time. That's what I'm talking about. After a long day of running out the behind fans, Raider fans, Seattle fans, asking them, do they know this man? We found out the true answer. Only one person on the West Coast knew who this man was. I would say it's a shame, but it's right what I thought it would be. Back to you, Jinx.
Voice of the Commanders, Bram Weinstein. You know it's Radio Row when someone says, what's Bram doing? I'm like, oh, he's over there sitting next to Secretariat Saddle.
That's right.
Like,
Jealous much?
I actually am jealous.
Are you?
That thing's worth like $2 million.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was.
Jim Irsay collection.
And they're
Who
just
knew?
carrying it around like somebody could grab it and take it.
Did you see the list of things Jim Irsay had, the rock and roll memorabilia he had?
Beatles drums or something?
He had the Beatles drum from the Ed Sullivan Show, and I'm old enough to remember this is TV history, let alone rock and roll history. He had Kurt Cobain's guitar from Smells Like Teen Spirit's music video taping. It's pretty wild, actually, the stuff that he has.
Everything. There's a guy walking around in shoulder pads here. I mean, the NFL just continues to grow in ways that are, it's hard to believe that even now they're going overseas even more. So it just grows and grows and grows.
So are we.
And so are we.
Who knows where?
Yeah, but we're going somewhere.
Just not Paris. We know that.
Yeah.
Just not Paris.
What is the one thing that you're looking forward to most when it comes to this Super Bowl? I'm going to ask you about the Commanders as well, but when it comes to this matchup, what intrigues you? Yeah, the most.
So I think there's a possibility this is a blowout. Like, I do.
Like Seahawks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I do. I'm hoping that's not the case. If Drake May, who feels like he's kind of a tick behind in some of the decision-making and a little bit, I don't want to blame him for the conditions last week because that's not fair to judge him. I think on that, nobody was going to play well in that. But the Seattle front, and we saw this up close and personal at Northwest Stadium earlier this year, they're a beast on that side of the ball. New England, in my opinion, better run the ball really, really well. Really needs to shorten the game and cannot turn the ball over. Otherwise, I think this could go sideways.
Okay.
And I know everybody keeps saying, like, well, Sam Darnold's going to turn into a pumpkin. He's going to start doing crazy stuff. And I guess that's possible. And I do trust Vrabel and the defense to keep this thing semi-close. But I don't think New England's offense is capable of scoring enough to win.
Yeah.
And if they make too many mistakes, Drake May just a tick behind on this decision-making, takes a couple of sacks, blows up a couple drives, and God forbid an interception or two, I think this could go sideways on him. And so I think Seattle wins just by how much, in my opinion.
Since talking offense, David Blau, the OC for the Commanders, and this is, I think, a pretty inspired choice. Most people that you talk to say, I really like this hire and this guy at this moment.
It's really interesting around the league, too. I think initially, like, I was with everybody else. I'm like, well, he's young.
Yeah.
And that's inexperienced. And, like, he's been with the team for a couple of years, and everybody's got all these, like, high regard for him. But it's a lot to throw on his plate and say, all right, do this. And then you see the Eagles hire Sean Mannion, and similar age, doesn't have the experience. This one's not even an elevation. It comes from the outside. A lot of people are trying to talk to the OC from Jacksonville. A lot of people are trying to talk to this young assistant with the Rams. I think there's been a youth movement. I do think that there is a lot more trust in some of these younger people. That probably starts with the hirings of Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan and Kevin O'Connell and Matt LaFleur, and they've been very successful at a young age. And so I think people are more open-minded to some of that. I will say this is quite a leap of faith from Dan Quinn. It really is, to go with not only just two new coordinators, but neither one has ever called a play before in an NFL game. It's an interesting choice.
And then you have Daronte Jones on the other side, who is from D.C., went to Morgan State, so he's got those local ties as well. And I don't know who I expected on that side of the ball, but I think you have to like that he's a Brian Flores disciple, has worked under Mike Zimmer as well. So certainly if you're going to hire a young guy, you want someone who has that sort of experience.
Yeah, I think with him what's different is he actually is very experienced. Like, he's in his 40s, and he's like, he's probably been overdue to get an opportunity like this. And I do like that he's from Flores' system of the, like, I'm very impressed with what Seattle did this year, obviously. Look what they did. And I think having played Minnesota, I think you get to see, there's a very innovative, very aggressive group. And I do think it shows Dan Quinn being really open-minded to other ideas of how to play defense. Because initially, when you think like, oh, there's going to be a new defensive coordinator, you would think it's going to be someone that he's either worked with before or stylistically and philosophically they're aligned with. And I don't know where Daronte Jones, I can't wait to talk to him and find out kind of where he is. But you would get a sense that having worked under Flores, he's going to bring some of those concepts in. And here's Quinn going, I'm open-minded to what works.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point you make, which is, head coaches, particularly once they've been successful on one side of the ball or the other, have a hard time evolving. And not that this is going to be a full-time evolution for DQ, but maybe it is.
A lot of people just double down.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the coaches, there's an ego that plays,
Sure.
and they're going to be, I don't know if open-minded's the right word about it, but it's more like, I think I know what I'm doing, which is why I'm in this position. And even though it failed, I'm not willing to get away from the concepts that I believe in. And here's Quinn in year 3 going, I'm very open-minded to, I don't have all the answers to everything, and I'm open-minded to these new concepts. And I think the reality is on that side of the ball specifically, and I think this is no secret, they need to upgrade the talent there to give Daronte Jones and Dan Quinn an opportunity to implement whatever they want to have more success than last year.
They get a chance to grab some talent at 7 in the draft. We keep reading edge. They're going to go after an edge, but there's a possibility too they could trade back maybe and get more picks.
Yes.
What do you guys anticipate happening?
I think the trade back scenario to me feels like if there's 3 or 4 players that they like that happen to be available at 7, and then at that point, if there is a slight move down, I don't know that I'm advocating a long move down, but a slight move down to pick up some capital and hopefully get that second-round pick back, well, then I think that would be great. I think that they need to get as many assets as possible. Short of that, Reuben Bain, David Bailey, Avril Reese, Caleb Downs, the safety,
I like Downs a lot,
Sonny Styles, who is among many draft boards 1 or 2 of most complete player, even though he's a linebacker. And so you have to decide about, positional value if you're going to take somebody at a linebacker at that high. I think they have a lot of really, really, really good options here. And, I think they're actually at a very good spot at 7 to get an immediate impact player at whatever position it may be. I just think we all kind of know and feel it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball.
And we get to see the draft here, not here, but actually in D.C., which is going to be something as well.
That is going to be really cool. I can't wait for that. I mean, it's to have these major events in our city is going to be amazing. I think we're all feeling like when the stadium gets built, maybe a Super Bowl will be coming too. It's just really, we're entering a really, really cool time in this franchise's history, and to have our city be a host for the draft, it's going to be amazing next year.
It's going to be a great week here, and maybe later in the week we'll have our Derby picks.
If you want. I'm your Huckleberry. Let's go.
Thanks, Bram.
All right, see you.
Here with Jessica and Diana from the TAPS program, and tell us a little bit about what this program does, because you guys have been associated with the franchise for a long time.
Yeah, we are very privileged to have this long-standing relationship with the Commanders. The TAPS cares for the families of fallen military, founded in 1994 by Bonnie Carroll. Our sports program was born on a sleepless night on base in Afghanistan, and our very first NFL team was the Washington Commanders. So there's a lot of love and history there, and we've got a great relationship with DQ, and we've done salute to service with the team for a number of years. So there's just a lot of love.
What's it like working with DQ, and what does he give back to the organization?
Dan, Coach Quinn is amazing. Him and his wife, Stacy, they just really have a heart for it. They're not doing it because it's a salute to service program or it's a nice thing to do. They really want to be a part of the care and comfort for military families. We were lucky enough to work with him when he was with the Falcons and again at the Cowboys. But as Diana said, the Commanders have had a special place in our heart, being our first team. And so, when he was coming to the Commanders, one of the very first things he did was reach out to us and say, I want to host a TAPS family. So we came to OTAs. So it was like one of his first official acts as a head coach. And so he just continues to show us that love. And he makes the families feel really special. He takes time. He remembers them. And so our families will tell us, oh my gosh, we met Coach Quinn and he asked after my kids, or he remembered us from the last time. And I think that authenticity, right, that time he spends, it's not, the helmets or the gifts or the swag. It's just that time and attention he pays to them, and just how he leads the organization. So, going in, the players are energized. They come over, they say hi. He introduces us to people, and they're one of our favorite events we get to do. So we love him so much.
And what's it been like to see this organization grow from where you started to where you are now?
Well, I mean, the sports program started like I said, in 2013. So to see the way it's grown, the way we've been able to impact families, all over the country all year long, across sport. I mean, we're grateful for to be a salute to service partner for the NFL and work with all the franchises and all the clubs across the country, but across sport in general. So, I mean, every community in America has, a family grieving the loss of a military or veteran loved one. So when we can go into their communities and celebrate the life and service of those heroes with the teams that they cheered for when they were alive, it's incredibly impactful and meaningful, and we're able to really help them make new memories. So it's a joy, and thankful to the Commanders for starting out, having faith in us and continuing, all the time.
Well, thanks for all you do, and thanks for being with us.
It's a pleasure. Thanks.
Want to remind you guys out there, you got to sign up for the Get Loud Showdown sweepstakes competition. It's me and Smoot against each other. All right, cast your vote. Email us, WashingtonGetLoud@gmail.com. That is WashingtonGetLoud@gmail.com. You get your chance to win 2 tickets, 2 field passes to Washington's home opener. It's going to be here before you know it. And stay with us here on Radio Row for content throughout the week on the Commanders YouTube channel. Smoot, this has been a day.
The first day.
The first day one.
Yes, you worked the inside. I worked the outside. How was it in the inside?
It was crazy. And here's the thing. This is the calm before it really amps up.
Yeah, before it really amps up.
But, I mean, there's all sorts of insiders in there. We talked to some people, what you saw on the show. And then, there's random people walking around. Like, there's a dude in shoulder pads walking around. Why? Because it's Super Bowl.
Well, that's what it's about. And I was also outside, and it got wild outside. And then the man on the street had some questions to answer, and I asked him.
So, what did you take away from the first 24 hours?
That the energy in San Francisco is undeniable.
Yeah.
One, the fans in the NFL are great. They have showed up. They have showed out. And maybe, just maybe, we found a format that actually works when it comes to the Pro Bowl.
I was talking to Ian Rapoport, and he said something interesting, which was, maybe this isn't the sexiest matchup, but if you love football,
this is what you want.
This is what you want. You can feel that.
Because they're good on all 3 levels of the football. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They don't hurt themselves. You're going to have to earn this game. Nobody's going to give you this game.
And this time of year, you always see the old throwback highlights, the great memories, including John Riggins. 70 chip. He's going to be on the show tomorrow.
100 touchdowns plus. Did you know that? Rushing.
I didn't realize that.
Now you do.
Hall of Famer. Also going to be back on the streets. And this time, you're asking Seattle fans about Blue?
Yes, I'm asking them, do you know this man?
Also, we're going to be back on Radio Row, so like we were talking about, tomorrow's when it amps up, and I mean anyone is going to be there.
Anybody that's available, you will sit down, and you're about to get loud.
And we're going to bring it to you. The views and opinions expressed by our podcast guests and or hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Washington Commanders or any of their representatives.